Today, we're going to talk about 6 packaging questions for your next design. Now, this video is brought to you by Bennett. Bennett is a custom packaging and retail display manufacturer in Kansas City, Missouri, with high-speed digital printing, creative services, on-site testing, and turnkey solutions like contract packaging, packaging supplies, and more. Check out our site to learn more. All right, so 6 packaging questions for your next design. Let's dig into this. Number 1, materials. What materials will protect your products the best? What fits in with your brand, and are there opportunities to reduce your carbon footprint? Think about which materials you're going to use and how that ties into the overall design. Number 2, construction. Will you choose flexible or rigid support for your product? How fragile is your product? Which option reduces material costs? How much space do you need for your brand messaging? These 4 questions are really going to help determine what your design goals are going to be. Number 3, secondary packaging. Will the size and shape of my packaging design prevent a simple secondary packaging option to ship to retailers? This is an important step, and a proper packaging analysis can solve this. You don't want to spend so much time on a very interesting packaging design when it becomes extremely inefficient to ship to retailers. So do your homework. Number 4, storage and distribution. What is the cost of secondary packaging and its transportation? How long will your product need to be stored before going on display? Will it be protected during this time? These 3 questions will help you determine the storage and distribution side of your packaging, and that is something you don't want to overlook. Expiration dates and safety concerns should always be in the back of your mind during the design process. And that ties right into number 5, product shelf life. How long does your product last on the shelf before a purchase? Consider the expiration date and your supply chain process. If you have a perishable item, make sure that product can last long enough at retail for your entire supply chain. And number 6, market competition. Do a competitive analysis to see what characteristics will fit in with the category, but can stand out on the shelf. Make bold choices to stand out. You do want to make some choices that fit into a certain category, but you still want to be bold enough to attract new customers, especially if you have a new product. And to recap, the 6 packaging questions we went over for your next design: determine what materials you should be using. Determine the construction of your packaging and what needs to be included on the box itself. Consider a packaging analysis for the secondary packaging to make sure you're being as efficient as possible. Consider the storage and distribution of your product and its packaging. Consider the product shelf life itself, especially if you have a perishable item. And do a competitive analysis of the market. Make sure you're fitting in, but still standing out. All right, now be sure to click subscribe because we're going to be uploading a new video every single week. And this is information you do not want to miss. Thank you very much. Bennett, where imagination meets corrugation.